alert, pulse of the planet, keep it fast, standing, standing, standing. Red alert, red alert, red alert, yeah. Got the dirt on my soul, no grandstanding. No mask, not even if it's old dark 30s.
My God.
Street made, even dirt roads, highway 30, 50, 40, 90. That'll get you 30, that's a clean sweep. Even
Welcome
when
to
we
Red Alert
getting
Houston
dirty,
Rocket
I ain't got
Zone.
no
I'm Hope
pay
Champion.
caps.
Thanks for
Stay
watching.
stepping
Like,
down for my
subscribe,
soul
and drop
and
Clutch City
kryptonite.
in the comments.
Clean had my nature
And
from
lock
my
in to hear Daily Rockets talk.
Child, please. My mic been off the whole time. Okay, my bad. This is crazy work. I don't know how I got off, but whatever. Um, let's go. Let's go back through it again. The Rockets preseason. Obviously two and 0 in the preseason with heavy showings, 122 and 140, and back-to-back preseason wins. The Pelicans also had back-to-back season wins, 107 and 97 and 127 and 92, which they faced off against Melbourne United in Australia. Um, and Zion looked good, 15 points in 15 minutes. We know what Zion's going to do if he comes out healthy. But that's not the preliminary focal point on tonight. The overall focal point tonight will be Reed Shepard and Ahmed Tubman versus a hungry, um, you know, active, ball hogging Jordan Poole. And that's what we're going to be looking at tonight. That's pretty much what I said for the last 5 minutes. It took me longer to say it. I said it very short for you this time because that's the overall point. So, what we will be experiencing going down the stretch, I mean, early in the game, before we even get to going down the stretch, what we'll be experiencing early on in this game, a heavy dose of crossovers on how will Reed Shepard react? How would he respond to a heavy dose of crossover from Jordan Poole, hella step backs, hella hesitations, hang dribbles, and all the craftiness, spin moves and stuff that Jordan Poole in and outs and stuff that Jordan Poole is going to do to get off every shot. He's going to do every possible move that he can do on you to get off a shot, and that I think is going to make for an exciting game to see how Reed Shepard competes. You know, that to me is going to be that to me is going to be very exciting to see. Just to see, you know, how Reed Shepard going to show up, how he going to compete tonight, and what that's going to look like. Everybody else, I mean, pretty much. I know this ain't what I'm here for. I'm not here to just say, hey, look, we know what everybody's going to do, but we kind of know what everybody is expected to do at this point. Kevin Durant could have a down game. He could he can not shoot the ball well, but that's unlikely. At the same time, he could decide, hey, I want to reduce my minutes. I don't want to up my minutes, or just keep me at the same exact amount of minutes. Um, let's see the Rockets dumpster knots were unveiled. How do y'all feel about the Rockets dumpster knot outfit? I mean, I know that's not a new thing, but they shot that like that was just the hottest jersey since the history of jerseys, and I know they're pretty popular. So I'm not gonna knock them. I'm not gonna knock the dunkster knot, man. Shout out to the designers of that. I think it was. I think it was. I don't want to say plagiarized, but you know, somebody kind of. I think somebody kind of saw it and had the idea first, and then somebody kind of saw it and had the idea second, and they had to. They had to get right to get it right. You know what I mean? Um, but hey, look, we're here now. We got about an hour and a half. Let's see. Yeah, we got about an hour and a half to game time. Let's do our thing. Took me a little while to get up and going, man. I've been everything. Everything is everything, man. What do we expect to see from a Zion Williamson tonight? Well, for one, if Zion think he just gonna bully people, we got people that we can put in there on him. We got Steven Adams and stuff like that we can put in there who will get physical with him. You know what I mean? And I don't think Al Pachenko is scared of him as far as physicality goes, but you know, when you 265 and you used to carrying around 230 to throw me 350, I mean, it ain't much anybody can do with you really, to be honest. You're just gonna be out there just jumping and banging into people all over the place. What the Rockets have to do is not get hurt tonight, which I think every time we play against Zion, the objective should be don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. You know, because he plays with such velocity. He plays with such velocity and explosiveness that you know taking contact the wrong way from Zion is equivalent to getting hit on the football field. All right. If Zion get 2 feet in the paint early, you know, I mean, it could be a long night. If Zion start getting 2 feet in the paint early, it could be a long night. If they wall up and force kickouts, um, to second and third shooters, the Pelicans' offense efficiency it tends to flatten. So, um, that's kind of what we want to do. We kind of want to wall up and force them to kick out to kick out to the second shooter, rotate the ball, and we know that if Zion have to kick out to a Jordan Poole, he's not really a catch and shooter. He really got to put the ball on the ground, and the offense could flatten. It could get stagnant, or it could it could lead to turnovers. It could lead to turnovers. What the Rockets want to do in tonight's game is we want to keep the pace controlled and win the possession game. You want to have low turnovers and a lot of offensive rebounds. We want to minimize their runouts, but we want to get transition in runouts. You know, and that's kind of if we get into the transition game and we get passing lanes and we get runouts and we can keep them from doing the same, we obviously stand a great chance to win this basketball game. And it's not only win this basketball game, but this could be an exceptional showing for us because what can happen is a night like tonight where we can have low turnovers and get some pitch ups. It can lead to guys getting back on their team and then kick out to open threes. So you know, I mean, it could be a game to where we can see other things come into play. Um, the Rockets were a 52 win, top 10 defense last season. Identity is toughness, rotations, and simple, repeatable offense. That's what we want to do. The Pelicans, on the other hand, are 2-0. They had their little global tune-up game. Zion looked explosive in short stints. Tonight's question is supporting cast and defense. What would his supporting cast look like? What would the Houston Rockets supporting cast look like? Herb Jones practiced after he tweaked his ankle. If he plays, obviously that's their best perimeter shooter. Um, the Rockets' offensive rating last season was a 115.2. Defensive rating was a 110.9, as the Pelicans' offensive rating was a 110.4, and the defensive rating was a 120. So this is easy a win-win, winnable situation for the Rockets. Obviously, they made some additions to their team, and we made additions to our team, but um, it shouldn't be a big turnover from what we expect last year. If we control the glass and the turnovers, offensive rebounds and turnovers, um, we tend to play the way that we expect ourselves to play. And like I said, if New Orleans get out and they get out fast and they get out into up and down game with us, that can be, you know, that could that can lead to Zion getting his feet in the paint a lot more often than what we want him to. We really want Zion to have the ball, you know, catching the ball with his back to the basket and trying to make something happen rather than just getting out and coming downhill at you, or using his speed and ball handling ability to come downhill at Alprin Shangon. So let's see. That's a lot of you know the stats, the numbers and stuff like that, takeaways and stuff like that. Obviously I'm late, so nobody gonna probably gonna pull up on me. But we gonna keep the show going as per usual because this is what I do. You know what I mean? I mean, um, I'm gonna take me one more shippy there right there, and I'll be back to my old life. One more sip of this, and I'll be back to my old life. So that's the first part of it. We do want to keep them from running out, getting up and down the court. We do want to keep our turnovers low. I'm being repetitive. I'm being repetitive because I want to drive home the point of how important it is to each individual. I mean, as for Reed Shepard, I mean we can go down the line. We can say, hey, each individual player, what do they have to do tonight? And if I was to start with a player, I'm gonna start with Reed Shepard. Just don't get discouraged by all the crossovers you're gonna see from this guy. This guy is looking to bag you tonight. He's looking to bag you tonight, bro. There's nothing about Jordan Poole that says he's gonna look out there and see Reed Shepard and be like, "Hey, I'm not gonna cross over 3 times every time I see him." If he sees Reed Shepard, he's automatically thinking cross, heads between, hang, dribble, cross, step back, and then when he step up, I'm going to the goal and freak it. That's what he. As soon as he see Reed Shepard, so Reed Shepard just can't get discouraged by the crossover. And the other guys got to have Reed Shepard back. We know the Reed Shepard not a slouch at defense, so it could be interesting to see Jordan Poole get to trying to do all that, and then Reed Shepard, poke the ball out. Because his hands is quick. They look like he's moving with his shoulders, but his hands is quick. And like I say, they have a tendency not to call fouls on you know, lighter skin, lightest skin people. Um, that's just facts. They don't call out. It have to be a real noticeable type thing in order for them to call that foul. And Reed Shepard need to take advantage of that. He need to take advantage of that. That's my brother from another mother. He need to take advantage. He need to take all the advantage because in this situation, white privilege is is needed. You need to use your white privilege in this situation, and you need to foul um, you know, opportunistically foul, right? Because Jordan Poole could put you on a poster. He can have you on Sports Center tomorrow. And um Reed's counterpart, Armin Thompson, is gonna get a heavy dose of Jordan Poole, pause. But we want to see Armin, make up the slack for Reed. And we want to see Armin shut that down. We don't want to see Armin getting crossed up by Jordan Poole, which we know Jordan Poole's handle is one of the sickest in the league, and I don't care what nobody has to say about that. Jordan Poole's handle is very Kyrie-esque. If you honest about it, he don't get the credit because he hasn't been on winning teams, but Jordan Poole has Kyrie-esque handles. I mean, he has been on championship teams, but you know, and Armin needs to know that Armin needs to play Jordan Poole like, hey, I need you to be scared of me when we play in the regular season. I need you to be scared of me when we play in the playoffs. Matter of fact, this is my opportunity to make sure that I'm one of the people that you don't want to play against for the rest of your career. That's the approach Armin has to take against this kind of player because in his mind, he can shake anybody. And Armin has to come out and make it known that I'm not the one that you can do that to. You know, you know, that's kind of the way if I'm Armin, that's kind of the way that I'm approaching this game. I'm approaching it just like I said about game one. It's a statement scenario to where if you come out and you make that statement, it can carry over not only for this game, this could carry over for the rest of y'all's time in the league. This is not a situation to where um, you know, you can let a guy just do whatever he want to do and you be trying to stop him and he get away with it and it don't carry over because it's not the guy you can do that to. If he do you, he in his mind he can do you every time, and if he has that kind of confidence he will cook you. That's period. um let's move down the line. Let's just go down the starting lineup. So Kevin Durant, you know, Kevin Durant just has to be efficient. He has to be deliberate. He has to be deliberate as far as his defense tonight. He can't be the reason that our defense isn't, you know, talked about the way that it was talked about last night. It can't be a situation to where it's like we were known as this tough, gritty defense. We get rid of Dylan Brooks, and then all of a sudden the tough gritty is gone. The defensive rating can still be there, but if it doesn't have the same impact, if it's not a nuance, if it's not a nuisance, I mean, if it's not a nuisance to go against Houston Rockets, that's going to take a lot away from who we are overall. We need our defense to just be a. We need our defense to just be a nuisance to players. You know, when you come up against Houston, you want it to be known immediately that what you're going against is something that's going to be it is just going to be pesky. You know, it's going to get under your skin, under your nerve. You know, it's going to be a long night, and Kevin Durant can't be the reason that that's not the case. So, you know, I'm looking for Kevin Durant to kind of embrace Houston Rockets culture in this point. You know, shoot some elbows, push some guys down, get a little physical. Not saying be dirty, but you know, kind of throw your weight around. You know what I mean? Throw your weight around. Be a Houston Rocket at this point. Be what the culture is. We know who you are, but take part in what we have established as a culture and bring that nastiness to the game. I know it's preseason. You don't want to hurt nobody. I know that. But it's going to be a physical game. This is opportunity for Kevin Durant to say, hey, look, I can embrace what the culture is here in Houston. I think that's a big thing to look for. How much time I got? Because um do we want to go? We're gonna go Alper Sengun and then we'll go Steven Adams. Oh no, we'll do Jabbar. Let's do Jabbar. Jabbar has played exceptional. Jabbar also has been very consistent, fundamental. Um, I mean, what can you say? You know how they say the intangible stuff. He does all the intangibles. He has all the intangibles. Um, as far as Bar goes, I think he's looking to take every opportunity, and he's taking every opportunity. So I might be being a little bit greedy to say, I want to see Jabbar take maybe a little bit more of a get mine approach. You know, I want him to continue to put the ball on the floor when he get it. Look at the guy in front of him and sometimes feel like even though the right play might be to pass the ball, I can take this. I can take this guy. I want to see Jabbar have one of those kind of I can take this guy moments. Like even though I know that this probably not the right exact what I'm supposed to do, this guy in front of me can't hold me, and I'm gonna go ahead and take him down here and spin and pull up on him because he's not supposed to be in front of me. That's kind of what I would like to see from Jabbar. It probably won't happen tonight. It'll be a time in the season where we need buckets and Jabbar will take over because he's clutch and he's a dog like that. Oh, 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 oh. But it's probably not going to be tonight. But he's going to be banging and swinging and banging with Zion Williamson. Now, look, Jabbar is a 6'10", slim, young, athletic, you know, played basketball against his daddy, so he's not soft. When you grow up playing basketball and you have parents and uncles and stuff that play basketball, you're not soft. You're not scared of physicality. It don't bother you like it bothers some people. So Zion being bigger and stronger is not gonna hurt Jabbar, and Jabbar is gonna take the challenge, and that's gonna be exciting to watch. Um, Hopefully Jabbar can, you know, get in Zion's get in Zion's path a little bit and stop some of his, drive to the basket and stuff like that. Because if Zion is going to bang you and push you around and bully you, which he is, you have to use your quickness and your length, pause, to deter him from being able to do that. So it's always something. We know he got his spin move. We know he got the right hand dribble. So it's always something that you can do that is a little bit advantageous to your game as opposed to what somebody can do that's advantageous to their objective. And we want to see Jabbar take those opportunities to maybe get a rip off steal on Zion. If I had to say, you know, um, Jabbar getting a steal on Zion will be one of the things I think is, you know, it's one of those. It will be one of those big time moments for me to say, "Hey, look, this is a guy that's strong and physical. Wah, do that. But I can go get a steal on this guy where he might bang me, he might push me, and I might, have some problems, rebounds or whatever because of how strong he is. But I can get a steal from him if he put the ball on the ground. That's going to be a good look for Jabbar if he's able to do that. Now, I don't even know who their center is. I know they got Valanciunas is gone, so I don't know who their center is at this point. But Alper Shango gonna cook somebody, and you know that's that. They might necessarily they might put Zion on LP at times. They might put Zion Williamson on LP at times just to kind of shake it up. And I would like to see what that's like. But we know LP don't care if you 265 or 300 pounds. He gonna play you the same way. He gonna beat you off the bounce. And Albert Shango has been carrying his team on his back offensively, shooting threes and dishing the ball all over the place. And we have no quarrels with Albert Shango. Now, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm here. I'm chilling. I got a little time on my hands. And what I want to do is I want to introduce y'all to a different aspect. Somebody, just give you a different aspect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out and see if I can get you an out of this world take. If I can. Let's see. Let's see. I'll get this out here right quick. Okay. Let's send this text. And I should get a return here in a minute. So what happens is I met a homeboy, you know what I mean? He was cooling. And I was like, hey bro, we the Rockets, you know what I mean? What you think about the Rockets? He's like, Rockets. And so we went and had a little talk. We had a little chop it up. I chopped it up with him. He chopped it up with me. And I was like, hey, well, I do a rocket show. He was like, rocket show? Like, yeah, I do a rocket show. And I was like, well, he said, I know a lot about rockets. You know a lot about rockets. Well, I guess you would know a lot about rockets. So anyway, make a long story short, I just shot him a text to see if he gonna pull up and, give us a little insight to what he think about the Rockets. And as soon as okay, let's see him
Incoming
call him back right there.
transmission. Incoming transmission connected.
Okay. What up with the Cosmic Bro?
Ah, humanity, still spinning wildly and calling it pros. Peace and plasma, Earthlings. But the boo, this isn't going to be as hard as deciding if a hot dog is a sandwich or taco. This Rockets team is as good without their veteran point guard, even though a lot of people started counting the Rockets floor general would leave them disorganized, that the offense would sputter without direction, but Houston had other plans. They rolled into their last preseason game and casually dropped 140 points. Not an accident, but the result of smart adjustments. They're still going to hang their hat on size, rebounding, and toughness, especially with Steven Adams and Tari Eason leading that second unit. If Şengün, Thompson, and Smith all take another step forward, and Udoka continues to tailor KD's role to his strengths, this team's ceiling is sky high. Top 3 in the West? Not a reach. If anything, it might be conservative.
Oh yeah, I guess he got connected. I guess he got disconnected, man. That's my boy Cosmic Bro, man. That's my Cosmic Bro, man. Alien man. But I guess he got disconnected. So we'll see if he pop back up on us and give us a little more insight to what he think about the Rockets or whatever. I'm glad you could pull up on me, Buck Mo. You caught it early. Obviously, we only got an hour left, but you know, hour before the game come on, and you know, I'm on with my Wi-Fi, man. I got that that's that alien Wi-Fi. His stuff probably crossing up with my you know what I mean? When them aliens be crossing up with your satellite did. But look, so I went through what I thought about the after the game. I mean, if 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 I get a couple people on and say they want me to come back after the game, I'll pull back up after the game. You know, I'll pull back up after the game if I need to. But ain't no telling. Ain't no telling. I really could stay on during the game to be honest. I could just, but I'm not gonna. It's one of them things. You know how it is, Brody. You know how it is. I ain't really trying to. You know, I just stay in my lane until I get ran out my lane. Then when I get ran out my lane, then I'm all over the freeway. I'm swerving all on the shoulder. But you know, all things considered, um, I talked about the starters. I talked about the starters, and so I'm the bench. I think the bench could be a big X factor with Clint Capella. It's not really like to me that we don't expect Clint Capella to produce, but we do expect Clint Capella to provide certain bursts of energies at certain times. What Clint Capella does is Clint's ability to bring a spark to your team by catching lobs is as good as most big men in the league. I mean, I would say over the course of his career, Clint has been as good at bringing that spark to your team from catching the alley as anybody in the league at times. You know, and he when he dunks it, it's emphatic. He moves himself into a position to where it's a to where it's an easy pass to make. It's not even a hard decision to make. So Clint Capella catching the alley tonight, cool. He catch the alley, and the crowd should go. Should be up, and the team should feel a little burst. And I think that's one of the things that Clint Capella is going to bring to this team is just the excitement of knowing that that's always an opportunity. And it's nothing. I mean, there's very few plays in basketball that's as exciting as the alley oop. To be honest, to be totally honest, if you pick your top three plays in basketball, the alley oop got to be in your top three. I mean, what else can you do? You throw the ball to yourself off the rim, half court three, buzzer beater three from beyond half court, you know, and then the alley oop, right? So those types of plays really bring a spark. So Clint Capella is going to be able to bring that spark for you off the bench. Um, and then there's Tari Eason, whereas Tari isn't getting the recognition and the hype that other guys are getting, he's still on the top of my list. He's still on top of my list for the impact that he brings to the team. He's still on top of my list for the amount of chaos he creates on defense. He's still on top of my list for his ability to score easily on defenders. Um, and you can almost say a three-level score at this point. He's not necessarily he's not necessarily self-create guy, but but all things considered, he can score from anywhere on the court. He can score from three. He can score in the mid range, and he can score in the post. You know, and be a problem. Be a problem. He can get hot from three and hit back to back threes, and then come down and miss one and come back and hit back. And we've seen him do it. We've seen Tar just get hot from three and go crazy from three. I mean, not like crazy like 6 or 7 threes, but we've seen him hit 4 threes in a game and go crazy. We've seen him mid range turnarounds. We've seen him tip ins at the paint. Rebound and putting the ball back up, 4 or 5 tip ins. So Tar can be a problem on all three levels, offensively, and we know what he is defensively. Um, my question would kind of be, um, what what is it that will be a takeaway from the game that would make the team seem like, you know, okay, this was a game that I didn't expect to happen. Like so what is it that can happen tonight? Man, come on, man. Don't start with it, Buck. Man, he okay. He is okay, but he good. I'm gonna say he more than okay. He good. Tari is good offensively, bro. Tari is good offensively. The hell is going on with this? Oh, I'm waiting up here. But the thing that would make it a game that would stand out to me is definitely the thing that we all want to see. It's the thing that we all hope for most. I think is just for Reed Shepard to catch fire. We're all everybody that bleeds red and yellow is like on the edge of their seat every time Reed Shepard catches the ball, and we're all hoping that he just catches fire. He just catches fire one day, but he has to make the first shot. He has to he has to shoot the first shot like it's practice. He has to shoot that first shot like it's a practice shot, and then shoot the second shot like it's a practice shot. Then he has to shoot the third shot like it's a practice shot. And then if he makes, you know, three threes, then he can start just going crazy and just start doing his thing. But Reed Shepard has got to shoot the first 2 or 3 shots like it's a practice shot. Like they just got a broom, and they running out there with the little stick broom. And and he has to be deliberate about his shooting tonight. And I think if Reese Shepard shoots the ball and he shoots the ball like he's in practice, like I'm practicing. I'm shooting this shot like I'm practicing the way I'm supposed to shoot it. I want it to be perfect. It's gonna come off my head perfect. I'm not worried about the defense. I'm not worried about whether it goes in. I'm just shooting my perfect shot because I've done this a million times. And he does that. He could catch fire. He can make a shot. He can miss a shot. He could come back and make a shot, make another shot, and then just feel it catching fire, and everything can slow down for him once he catches fire. Here's the thing, though, Buck. Here's the thing. Right now, the way it's looking, that's about what he gonna get. He gonna get 10 minutes, and that's gonna all change depending on JD Davidson, and depending on if somebody else sees JD Davidson and decides that they would rather have JD Davidson than Reese Shepard. So the thing is that it's people not only watching our team, but they're scouting our team. And in Reese Shepard and JD Davidson competition is two things. It means that Reese Shepard has to play good so he can live up to his potential, but it also means that when people start scouting our team and they don't start deciding who they want, they're gonna start saying, "Hey, can we get Jabari and Almond and JD Davidson? Can we get Jabari and JD Davidson?" And guess what? The value of that trade goes down because Reed is set to be more valuable than JD Davidson. So if somebody comes to us and says they want JD Davidson instead of Reed Shepard, they're really swindling us because JD Davidson might be better than Reed Shepard, but his value is supposed to be lower. We might be getting the shaft, and I ain't talking about Samuel L. Jackson. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Um, Jay Sean, he not playing. Jay Sean Tate not playing, bro. He may not gonna play Reed. Man, you say that every time he not gonna play. He may gonna play Reed, bro. He gonna play Reed. He gonna play Reed. You gotta let Reed live, man. You talking about playing tonight? You'll be shocked if you play him tonight. I don't know. Hmm. I can't say. I can't necessarily say if he gonna play him tonight. But I mean, he gonna play tonight, regardless. He gonna play. I mean, Reship. Everybody gonna play tonight. Everybody gonna get a chance to get their burn. Um, Armin, Holiday, Davidson is back. Yeah, but I mean, who is Davidson? Oh, Joe. Okay, Holiday, Armin, and Davidson is the backcourt. Okay. He not finna. I mean, JD Davidson not finna take Reshep's spot, bro. Let me tell you. Let me tell you how this works. JD Davidson not finna take Reed Shepard's spot. Reed Shepard is guaranteed to have his spot, whether the people like it or not. The boy got a spot. It's as simple as this. It's as simple as this. It ain't about Ime. If Reed Shepard doesn't pan out, guess who has to suffer with guess who has the stigma of not being a good GM? Flat out. Flat out. You see what I'm saying? So the problem is that is that if Reed Shepard doesn't pan out, they traded Cam, Tata Washington. Um, who else? Who else did we take? Um, Bruno Fernando, Garuba. You know, I mean, we got all these players, bro. We got all these players. Jalen Green, forgot about Jalen Green. We got all these players that's not panning out. It's almost looking like one guy, one guy has lived up to what he could have been, and he wasn't even. He really wasn't even Ime's. I mean, wasn't Stone's pick. He was Sam Presti pick in OKC. He was gifted to us by OKC. Every other guy is not panning out. Jabbar is not better than Paolo. Jabbar is not better than Chet. Jabbar fell to number 3, and it's probably he might not be the best. He might not be the top 3 in that draft, bro. Them other 2 guys is 1 and 2 in that draft. Them other 2 guys is 1 and 2 in that draft. Paulo is easy the number 1 player in that draft. Chet is easy the number 2 player in that draft. And I don't know that Jabbar is the number 3 player in that draft. Jalen Green, drafted, gone. Cam Whitmore, we wanted him at 5, bro. We thought about taking Cam at 4. Oh, he dropped to 20. We picked him. He gone. He gone. He gone. So it's enough to be said to say that Reed Shepard having to be very good for us, period, is I mean, that's an understatement. Because if Reed Shepard isn't very good for us, what's likely to happen is people gonna start looking at Raphael Stone and saying, bro, you picked a lot of players that's not good. You picked a lot of guys that can't help a team out. Well, we should have had a team better than OKC by now. We should have had a team better than OKC by now. Easy. Tari was a steal. Bar is okay. Alper Shangoon was gifted by Sam Presti. But every other person that he picked is gone. Shout out David Burns watching from Cedar Hill, Texas. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you stopping by, buddy. Well, you a Rockets fan, man? You getting ready to watch the game tonight? We're gonna turn up. We're gonna turn up if the game come on. I might, that's what's up. Appreciate everybody pulling up. No, I mean that's a thing that I talked about the other day with LC. I was talking to LC, and me and LC was having this conversation, and I was saying, when Ime made that statement, Reed Shepard has got to be very good for us, period. That was kind of a kick the can down the road, push the buck off on Ime. Because it's Ime's job is to take what I give him and make it work. It's right. It's Ime's job to take what I give him and make it work. And if Ime, first of all, Silas is gone because he didn't make it work. Now Ime is making it work, but he's not making it work with what I gave him. So Ime is making Stone look like you don't know what you're doing. If you put all this stock in Jalen Green, you put all this stock in Cam Whitmore, Ime came here after 1 year, got their ass up out of here. Guess what that says to Stone? You should have picked somebody else. These guys ain't it. Get their ass up out of here. You can't win with them. You can't win with them. Now, what Stone can do is say, hey, look, I'm learning a lot from Ime. What I thought I knew about basketball, I didn't know, but now I know. You see? But as of right now, the way it's looking is that Ime is definitely doing things that will leave Stone high and dry. If Reed Shepard does not pan out, here's gonna roll, buddy. Here's gonna roll. And here's gonna roll, and it's gonna start with email. And here's gonna if email leave and we get a coach, because it's gonna be hard to find a coach. What the hell was that all about? It's gonna be hard to find a coach better than Ime. Ime is the top 3 coach, easy, right? Ime is the top 3 coach, easy. And it's it's not easy to find a coach. And what could easily happen? What can easily happen is that we get rid of Stone looks at it and says, you know what? He may not bringing the best out of these offensive players. He's good at defense, but he's not good at offense. He's not bringing the best out of these players. And then what happens is, you go, we finna get a Quentin Snyder or somebody like that who's supposed to be this great coach that I don't believe in at all. And then the team stinks after like a year. It doesn't have the improvement, and then Tim and Fertitta say, you know what? I need to get somebody else because neither one. I can't go back and get Stone and email again because I fired them. Hold on, I skipped over this. Signed Ben Simmons, problem solved without throwing away assets. That's crazy work.
Incoming
Oh, shit.
transmission.
Hold on. My boy
Incoming
calling back.
transmission connected.
Cosmic Bro. Cosmic Bro.
I ran the stats on that take. You're about 83% delusional.
Cosmic Bro said no to Ben Simmons, bro. He said you delusional, bro. Ben Simmons is not going to get it. Ben Simmons is not going to get it. He can play defense, but Ben Simmons is not. No. The reason why Ben Simmons out the league is because he just not that. He don't got the heart. If we traded Jalen Green and Cam Whitmore, we definitely not put up with no Ben Simmons. And I think Ime was gone before Ben Simmons got to New Jersey, if I'm right. If I'm right, Ime was gone, or he might have been there when Ben Simmons got to New Jersey. I'm not sure. But I guarantee you that Ime, y'all picked up Ben Simmons. You Rockets? No. Who picked up Ben Simmons? No, but we're not picking up no Ben Simmons. I know that's not because it's not on my board. Hold on. Let me see something. The Rockets versus New Orleans injury report. Okay, no, it's not on my board. Look, CJ's a hell of a 2 guard. Yeah, but see, CJ's hurt. Here's the thing: we can't afford to have guys on our team hurt, especially not at the same time. And you never know when CJ gonna be hurt. We already got Fred VanVleet hurt. The better thing we can do, to be honest, is playing Reed Shepard and JD Davison, because we know that those 2 guys there are young and spry. They're young and spry, and if nothing else, young and spry will get you 82 games of bodies. 82 games of bodies is more important than having a guy that's good for over 50 games that, he might be hurt 30 of them. He played 50 games and he hurt 20 of those games. It's just it's hard for me because I went through the Tracy McGrady, Yao Ming era with hopes and expectations. It's hard for me to it's hard for me to suffer through hurt players. It's just hard for me to suffer through hurt players, which is why people talk about James Harden. Is one of the reasons why I would always I wasn't for bringing James Harden back instead of Fred VanVleet, but I will always say James Harden should end his career as a Rocket because nobody can take away the fact that that guy played every game. That guy played games, bro. That guy played games, and that guy did not call in for work. He was on the court, and even when he stuck up the joint, he had a hangover or whatever it was, or whatever the situation was, the strip club, nobody knows. Whatever the case was, James Harden came to work. Kourtney Kardashian on the sideline, James Harden came to work. Beard smelling like Rick's, James Harden was at work. You know what I mean? Beard smell like Onyx, James Harden was at work. So I can't knock James Harden. I'm always gonna say, look, as far as guys that, because somebody else asked me today. Somebody who don't watch basketball as much, they were like, what's your stance point on the Russell Westbrook reuniting thing? You know, and I wanna, hey, what you think about that? Tell me what you think about that, Burns. Tell me what you think about the reuniting Russell Westbrook. Do you think it would be better to have Russell Westbrook, who's gonna play almost every game, or CJ McCollum? What you think, Buckmo? What you think, Buck? See, I know what Buck think. I know what Buck think about Russell Westbrook anyway. So I think, you know, that's those are the. Let me see. Let me see where we at. Huh? Real talk. Hold up. Hold up. Good deal. Tell me. No Westbrook, he can't shoot. Okay. No Westbrook, he can't shoot. But hey, look, he made big threes for Denver last year in the playoffs. In the playoffs. No Westbrook, he can't shoot. Now Buck said no Westbrook, he can't shoot. Now uh, I everybody can shoot. It's just that I think Russell Westbrook has a focus thing. Like you hear me talk about all the time. Russell Westbrook has a focus thing to where when he get hyped up, I think he's one of those players that, you know, he gets tense, high strong. You know that you ever seen the movie Tombstone, which is my second favorite movie of all time. It's that one scene where old boy gets shot and then that Doc Holliday goes, "Po soul, he was just too high strong." That's Russell Westbrook. He's really, really high strung. And I think sometimes that causes him to miss shots. But when he's just confidence and shooting in the flow of the game from the corner, you know, anybody can hit the backboard. But Russell Westbrook, he all right. Russell Westbrook is one of the few players that I enjoy watching play. Could have played in the more physical area of the league despite his flaws. This guy never cheats the fans. Facts. Facts. That's facts, bro. That's facts. That's facts. That's facts. It's big egos, man. It's big egos. Big egos. Because Russell Westbrook is like that. His ego tells him, I owe it to the fans. I'm going to go all out. That's who I am. Some people ego tell them, I'm so good. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. Some people ego tell them, whatever I do is good enough because that's how good I am. And everybody's I is bigger than the we, which is the problem that most people have with what I'm about to say. I said it last time. Is that with Fred VanVleet out, if there was a way we could trade Harden, if we could sign Russell Westbrook and we could trade Fred VanVleet and get Harden, maybe we trade Fred VanVleet, Jay Sean Tate, you know, something along them lines, and just get James Harden and pair him back up with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. I'm not saying that I'm thirsty for it, but I'm also saying that that would be a hell of a storyline. That would be a that would be a hell of a storyline. The three amigos come back for their revenge tour to take down the team that's been built after they the home that we built. This the home that we built in OKC. We started this Oklahoma shit, and then we come back and we come over here and we take y'all down on our way out the door, and then they win this year. Then next year, Russell Westbrook retire. James Harden might retire next year too. Kevin Durant might retire if they win a championship together. All three of them might retire. 2 years, 14 million. First of all, we don't even got 14 million, buddy. We don't even got 14 million, bro. We have to get our what you call it? You have player injury player hurt, man down, pimp in distress tax. We got, we we gotta sign somebody without pimp in distress tax. We don't even got money for that right now. You know what I mean? If nah, man, we hard pressed against the cap. We hard pressed against the cap. If the only thing we'll have is we'll have $12 million for the player injury, tax thing. Player injury, slip my mind what they call it, but it's basically when you got a hurt player, you file a little thing, a little grievance or whatever, and then they let you sign somebody for half of what their player is worth if they're going to be out past, you know, the June or January or whatever their day is. June, I think it's yeah. Basically, if they're gonna be out the whole year, then you get to sign somebody for their half or whatever that player makes. And Fred VanVleet making 24 point something or 25 million this year would leave us with no. We have everybody said it's not about the money for him. Of course it is. Yeah. If it's not about the money, then he should be saying, "Hey, look, I go to Houston and play. Just I do a sign and trade with a you can't even sign and trade, but it's definitely about the money because 14 million we don't even have 14 million. Well we have generation of hate or whatever with it. Boy got that Sam Duck on that thing. What what we have is a $12 million that we will be able to sign. We can't even get that right now, but it's $12 million that Fred VanVleet, half of Fred VanVleet's contract would give us. I can tell you what Russ brings that Almond doesn't bring. Um, Russ is, for one, is not what he brings that Almond doesn't bring, but Russ is a better ball handler than Almond. Russ came in the league a better ball handler than Almond, and Russ has always been a better ball handler than Almond. That's just a fact. The other thing is that Russ's vocal leadership is something that's going to be missed. His tenacity, his legacy alone, just his legacy alone is something. The lure of Russell Westbrook, because you never know when Russell Westbrook is going to have one of those, you know, just sparks. When he's just going to be a spark that does something, come off the bench and just goes for 19 points and 6 rebounds, and him and Tari going crazy off the bench. Whatever. It's definitely nothing. I mean, it's definitely nothing that Russ can do that Amin isn't capable of. That's not what we're saying. But it is kind of it's kind of the, like I say, it's the lore. It's the lore of what Russell Westbrook can be to the team. You know, so that's kind of. But I mean, the thing is, this is the thing. The thing is that we still gonna need extra bodies. Yeah, we got JD Davidson. What does Russ bring that we're not sure that we have in Reed Shepard, JD Davidson, and Aaron Holiday? That's the real question because we got three guards. Do those three guards equal up to Russell Westbrook? I think they do. I think they should. They should. Right. Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. The Brooklyn Nets can have him. They got MPJ, and that's really it. Well, the Brooklyn Nets, they don't. I mean, they might bring him there just to kind of help build culture. They might bring him there to kind of help build culture with Michael Porter Jr. But the Brooklyn Nets not doing nothing. They trying to crash and burn. They trying to crash and burn. The Brooklyn Nets manager said he came out and said, "You know what our strategy is." You can look at our team. We drafted 5 players. We drafted 5 players this year, and they probably all gonna play significant roles. And if you know what we did when we drafted out them players and we put out them players out there and we stuck up the joint, had one of the lowest win totals in the history of basketball since the merger. That's what the New Jersey, Brooklyn, whatever they is, Knickerbocker Nets, whatever they call them. Them boys finna stink it up, and they got their picks back. Hey, hey, they say it's up and it's stuck. It's up and it's stuck. They putting them young niggas out there, man. Young nigga move that work. Yeah, go on and move that work. They finna put them boys out there and let them boys shine. Whoever can ball, we gonna find out. Whoever can't ball, we gonna let you ball anyway, and then we gonna trade you because we got a bunch of the same thing. We got a bunch of wing defenders. They did the same thing the Rockets did. They just went and got a bunch of wing defenders, and we gonna let them all play. And one by one, if somebody sees something they like, we gonna ship them off. We gonna ship them off. So, so my whole chat right now. Let me see. Let me see. I ain't gonna even make no poll. I was gonna make a poll. I was gonna make a poll, but just I'm sure my whole chat in agreement that Russell Westbrook is a no. Nobody on this chat can vouch and say, hey, we assign him just for legacy. We assign him just for the legacy, just to say we gave him a shot. We give play. This is what players come to die. We'll give everybody a shot at the end of the rope. You know what I mean? We gave Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen, um, Ron Artest, who else? Mike James, Steve Francis brought him back. You know, we give everybody a chance. Carmelo Anthony, we give everybody a chance. Anybody can just come here and try to get your joints off, man. All white chicken jump off joints. Let's see. Rockets could theoretically create 15 million of cap if they waive and stretch a Fred for 50 million dead money spread over 5 years, 10 million. But that hinders us in the future. Yeah, facts. That's crazy. 10 million. I mean, it kind of hinder us in the future, depending on, you know, because we got all them guys that's coming off the books in like 2 years. You know what I mean? We got a shit ton of guys coming off the books. So it could hinder us, but wave and stretch Fred Van Vliet when you can let him come back next year and trade him, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Because here's the thing: you want our team to jail. Is what it's going to amount to? It's going to amount to the fact of how good we look, you know, playing this year. If we get to playing real good this year, and it's like all we need is one thing, they might look at doing something like that. But if it's like, maybe we just keep Fred on here for the next this year and try to trade him, then they might just keep him and trade him because he's still a valuable trade piece. He's still a valuable asset. At the contract that he got is the 25 million he played this. He sit this year out for us. He come back next year and it's a 25 million expiring contract. Do you know how valuable that is? A $25 million expiring contract. Anybody will take that. Anybody will take that. People will take that just because if you get 1 year of Fred VanVleet just being a leader on your team, you know, and playing off the bench for 25 million, it's worth it. It's worth it. Wizards, Bulls, Nets signed him to 2 years, 20 million with the guaranteed 20 million. Tell my Russ, the Wizards not gonna sign him because Wizards got a young up and coming team. They moved on. Generational hater. Facts. Yeah, generational hater he be talking some real stuff. He be talking some real stuff though. I'm not arguing for it, just saying it's a possibility that keeps options. Oh, trust. Yeah, trust. Trust and believe. Options, hey, options. Options is what it is. Options is what it is. We need all that. We need all that. We need all them options work. I need all the options, man. We're gonna make sure 100% for sure that every possible scenario, you know, and that's what I like about Stone is that Stone don't mind checking everything. Stone don't mind checking every single thing and saying, hey, whatever it is that's gonna be, whatever it is that's gonna be the best possible scenario, I'm about it. I'm about it. And I take it at face value. That Stone is really he's gonna make Stone gonna make the best decision for the team. Like I'm not even really tripping on the fact of whether or not I think, but it is it is this right here. You know, here's the fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is chaos. When guys start to get, you know, when when the chaos start to kick in, guys start to get indecisive and make bad decisions. And so that's kind of the that's kind of a problem. That's kind of a problem because it's scary. It's spooky hours right now. It's spooky hours for the Rockets. You know, it's spooky hours because what could happen, the things that could play out as far as like I said earlier, Reed Shepard really not making no headway. Um, Lord knows, I don't even want to say it, but y'all know how crazy this could get, man. Y'all know how crazy this could get. It could this could really get crazy. I said after we got Kevin Durant that this could almost be like a tanking year. This could almost be like a tanking year. This could get so crazy that we be playing with Armin and LP. And we know that Armin has had some hmm? Talk to me quick, don't talk to me slick. We know that Armin done had some problems. Nah, man. 22 years, 20 million with a guaranteed 20 minutes played. Shoot. Hey, that's all he want. All he wanted 20 minutes played. You guarantee him 20 minutes, he might take a little less money. That's the thing. If he if look, that's what I'm saying. See, that's what people don't like. People be like, man, you tripping, EF, you tripping. And I'm saying in real life, with Clint Capella and James Harden, you got a lob threat, you got you a shooter. James Harden is still a good damn shooter. And you have James Harden and Kevin Durant on the team together. You still got two good shooters. That's still two good shooters. You just have to make sure that James Harden is running the second unit. You just have to make sure that James Harden is running the second unit. Kevin Durant is on the first unit with Armin and Jabari, and they come off that second unit with James Harden and Tari and Clint Capella. Hey, that's a James Harden squad right there. Tari, Clint Capella, and Reed Shepard. That just looked like the team that he won when he was here. Reed Shepard is Eric Gordon. Tar Eason is Trevor Ariza. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I forgot the 2026 pick. Oh no, I forgot we don't got the 2026. We got our 2027. We can always swap with somebody. We can always swap. We can always trade our pick with some more, you know, some more luggage. But it's only like this next draft is gonna be good. It's not gonna be exceptional, but there's some pretty good players in this draft. There's some pretty good players in this draft. They always say ain't nobody in the draft, but it's you want it to be a Wemby and a Zion in every draft. That's not gonna happen. And I remember I was so high on this guy from Spain named Ade Mara. Ade Mara, man, I was so high on Ade Mara. He came over here and went to UCLA, and I haven't heard anything from him since. And he was like a Wemby. He was like 7'4", play like Jokic. Slow, but he can make all the passes. He could dribble, push the peel. He wasn't a great rebounder, but he could block shots. He like 7'5", 7'6". He was like legit Yao Ming type dude. And I don't know. I haven't heard anything from him. But this could be a taking year. Why I say it could be a taking year is overall because the guys can be hurt, man. And I ain't saying that like tanking. I'm just saying that guys can be hurt. Guys can legitimately be hurt, bro. Guys could legitimately not be on the floor, you know? And that's a real life scenario. It's a real life scenario. I'm knocking on some stuff. I'm knocking on plastic, glass, wood, everything. But guys could not be on the floor. And if guys not on the floor, man, it can be spooky. It's spooky hours, man. It's spooky hours for everybody. 57 wins. I'm gonna put you down over here in my notes, bro. I'm gonna put you in my notes. 57 wins for generational. Okay. Plus 57. Make sure to put that plus on that too. Okay. Good deal. I got you. Plus 57 wins for generational. How many wins you got us for, David? David Burns, man. Jordan come out of retirement and join the Rock. That boy said Jordan come out of there. That boy said Jordan come out of retirement and join the Rockets. That's crazy, bro. That's insane. If Jordan come out of hey, don't. But no, it is some players that could come out of retirement right now. It's some players that could come out of retirement right now, and the Rockets would probably sign them, like Ray Allen. These Rockets, the Rockets have always been looking for a pure shooter. Like, oh my goodness. Oh, well, you're right. No, y'all killing me. Y'all killing me now. Hey, we gotta commit. We gotta commit. Let's go ahead and get Hakeem and y'all. Bring them back. You know what I mean? We gonna bring back. Hey, shit, we in there. Go ahead and throw your boy Otis Thorpe in there. Go ahead and throw Otis Thorpe in there, man. Otis Thorpe will stop all this Zion noise that we're gonna have to deal with tonight. We ain't gonna have no Zion smoke with Otis Thorpe on the court. No Zion smoke. We put Otis Thorpe on Zion, shut all that noise down. You know what I mean? And we need a shooter. Shit, go ahead and bring back Robert Ory. Just bring back the whole 95, 94, 95 squad, bro. Mad Max, all of them. Bring back Mad Max, bro. Now to be honest, to be 100% honest with you, is nothing that can help this team like a Mad Max. And it's not anything that can help this team like a Mad Max. If a player that had that kind of attitude, tenacity, speed, athleticism, scoring ability, and shooting could just fall into our lap. Oh my days, it would be crazy. It would be crazy. You know, the mayor, bring back the mayor. Come on, man. Come on, man. You talking about players that just come on. But I'm wondering. I'm wondering, is it any kind of player out there that with Mad Max speed that has that kind of tenacity? You know, like 6'3", 6'4", just a tenacious defender with super speed and just a dog mentality. We haven't seen that in so long. Like, just to say, it's been so long since we've seen a player that was feared defensively and offensively at that size, at 6'3", 6'4", that was just feared defensively and offensively like Mad Max. Once in a lifetime player, bro. Once in a lifetime player. You talk about generational players, man. Brandon Maxwell was a generational player, bro. Yeah. But see, Kobe was 6'6". Allen was 6 foot. Kobe was 6'6". Allen was 6 foot. So one of them was a little bit shorter, one of them was a little bit taller. I'm saying like Mad Max had the speed of Allen Iverson. It had the scoring ability of a I ain't gonna say of a Kobe Bryant, but you know, I mean, if you say who would you want to have defensively on your team, Kobe or Mad Max? Most people are gonna pick Mad Max. You know what I mean? And, Mad Max held everybody from Vernon Maxwell to Byron Scott to Isaiah Thomas to Michael Jordan at 6'4", bro. He was D'ing up people that's 6'9", 6'6", 6'1". Maxwell could D up anybody, bro. He's like right in that range to where he could be a point guard. He was like a real combo, like because really they was like real combo guards. Him and Kenny was like real live combo guards. Both of them could score. Both of them, was 6'3", 6'3", 6'3", 6'4", and both of them were super fast. Both of them were super fast. So that's crazy work. Um, and I'm just thinking like people around the league right now that even have that kind of makeup or build, and they just not there. They just not there. You know. Um. Yeah. Yeah. I did. I did. Pull this up right quick. That's what David Burns said. Allen Iverson, Kobe both played defense, and they both was fast on the court. 100%. 100%. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Mad Max crazy, man. Mad Max crazy. They talk about him rough ass hand when he slapped me with them rough hand. Hey, like you say though, hey, when he when he slapped him, man said he got that bottle, broke that bottle, and say he had people running everywhere. So he had people running everywhere, goddamn. Hey, sometimes that's what it be. Sometimes it's just what it is. But Maxie, don't do that shit, man. Don't do that. Maxie, don't do that. That's disrespectful. So King walked stood over me, slapped the dog shit out of him. Said, y'all. Hey, hey, that gotta sit you right though. That gotta sit you right. If the leading shot blocker block shots with your head, Elijah one blocked his head. Bye bye y'all. I can imagine Elijah one slapping that boy head like he slapped that ball out of bounds and Ross Strickland thought he had that layup. When Rod Strickland went down the court and thought if he hit the layup, Elijah Wan came and slapped that mug out of bounds. I can imagine Elijah Wan slapping Randy Maxwell head like that. Blah, blah. Hey man, I'd have been mad too. I'd have been mad too. We gotta get some straightening about this dream. The only dream gonna be around here tonight gonna be nightmares, goddamn. You slap the dog shit out of me like that. Think I'm finna go back out here and play on your team. Hey. Well, look, we got 15 minutes, man. We got 15 minutes. I appreciate everybody in the chat, man. We had a busy chat tonight, man. I appreciate everybody. Anybody got any takes y'all want to get off there in this last 15 minutes? Also, if anybody wanted to pull up, man, I'm sorry I ain't dropped the link, but you know David Burns, generational, you already know how it go down. Buckmo, he said he was gonna pull up. Buckmo be ducking the smoke all the time. But anytime y'all want to pull up, man, y'all just say drop the link. I'll drop the link. Usually I have it in the chat already. And it's always, you know, welcome, welcome. Well, welcome. How them old folks say in church? You welcome, welcome, welcome. Always welcome to pull up and chop it up with your boy, man. Um, okay. When you gonna pull up, Buckmo? Next time I catch you, you gonna pull up? Even Allen Iverson said Russell Westbrook reminded him of himself. Yeah, for real, man. For real, Allen Iverson and Russell Westbrook, they do play alike. They did play alike. I mean, Allen had a little more, you know, a little more sauce. Allen had a little more sauce, but he grew up in the sauce era. But as far as playing with that heart and just tenacity and never die attitude, you know, having that never die attitude, never cheat the game, you know, fearlessness. Yeah, that's Allen Iverson and Allen Iverson and Westbrook got that a lot alike. Um, Takeaways from the last game, things to look for tonight's game. Tell me who you think is going to be the X factor tonight in the game. And drop that in the chat for me. Who you think is going to be the X factor in tonight's game? If I had to say so myself, um, obviously, I'm gonna say the X factor in tonight's game is going to be Jabari. Jabari gonna be the X factor in tonight's game because it's gonna be his responsibility to contend with whatever bullshit Zion on tonight. And Zion 165 going from 350 to 160 from 350 to 265. Zion gonna be back on his bullshit. You know, shout out to Young Hall. But Zion gonna be back on his bullshit. And I don't think it's gonna be light work for Jabari. But I think if Jabari, you know, presses him on the perimeter, if Jabari is able to really get out in front and, you know, cut off some of them lanes and help wall up. We saw Jabari do a great job of walling up against Giannis in previous games. So Jabari walling up is gonna be a big thing for this team tonight. I think Jabari is gonna be the X factor. I also think that let's see, you know, I mean, Steve O is going to be a big factor because he's going to be our actual muscle in there. But I'm looking for Jabari to actually have one of those, you know, I'm looking for Jabari to have one of those. I ain't gonna say coming out party type game, but just a epic showing tonight as far as, you know, not laying down and getting pushed around or getting bullied by this man child that we finna have to play against. And if you know what if Zion dunked the ball 4 times this game, you know, if Zion is under 5 dunks this game, I'm gonna have to give a shout out to Jabari tonight. I might have to come back and shout out Jabari because it's gonna be hard to keep that dude from dunking the ball 5 times tonight. I hope I don't have to see Charles Barkley ball boy looking ass tonight because he's another Stephen A. Smith. I have a like and don't like about Barkley. What's that? What's your like and don't like about Barkley? What's your, because I'm like that about a lot of these guys. I think some of these guys get to a point and I can see how because you have to talk about the game. It's like if this your let me say this and I'm gonna come back to you. Jabari gonna be the X factor for the season. That's a big point. That's a big thing. Jabari probably is going to be, but it's going to split between Jabari and Tari. They splitting duties, but also Reed Shepard. You can't forget about Reed Shepard because Reed Shepard is going to be an X factor a lot of nights, especially if he get burned. But I can see how when you're talking about a basketball game, you got to talk about things that's taboo or things that's you could be considered that could be considered negative or hate or whatever the case may be, and you just shooting your shit. You just saying the stuff that you would say when you talking to your pops or you talking to your brother or you talking in the barber store, you talking to your homeboy. You riding to the game and you had your couple of drinks and you like, damn man, you know, I hope Jordan don't get out here and get the bullshit tonight, man, because sometimes Jordan be hogging the ball, right? And now the fact that everybody can hear it and everybody can respond. Now it's like, damn, this nigga hating on Jordan. We know Jordan is the greatest. We just said that sometimes he be hogging the ball. What's the what's the problem with somebody saying he be hogging the ball? So I can see how some of these guys say stuff, and then you look at it and you be like, man, he didn't have to say that. That's just, oh my day. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? That's excessive. That's not even crying. That's just somebody hollering at somebody. That's how kids do when they just holler at you. They don't even be crying. They just be they got their mouth open, not a tear in sight. not a, not a, not a tear in sight. Just hollering, looking you right in your face, bro. Y'all know it can't we can't be doing it, it be funny, bro. It be funny because you be wanting to be mad sometimes, but then you look at them and you be like, I can't even be mad at you because that's not even a real cry. that's just that's just looking you in your face and just hollering. You close your eyes. Close your eyes, bro. You looking right at me hollering. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's not a cry. That's not even close to a cry, bro. That's just somebody hollering for the sake of hollering. But no, but now what what but like Stephen A. Smith he's so thought thoughtful and thought provoking that he'll say anything, and he says it because it's like this is thoughts. These are just thoughts, man. This ain't like Bible. This ain't like Bible. This ain't scripture. I'm not reading you no scripture. I'm just telling you thoughts. But people take some of the stuff people say so hard-heartedly that they'll take it and they'll run with it and they'll be like, man, Stephen A. Smith said this and that. Like you hear all the people talking about Stephen A. Smith said something about Jasmine Crockett. I listened to what he said about Jasmine Crockett, and what he said was, I don't like the way she talking. It'd be better if she try to work with across the aisle with the MAGA stuff. Now I disagree. I like the way she talked. When she called somebody a bad built, butch, blonde, bleach, blonde, butch body, you call somebody that at work? You call somebody that at work? Look, I dig it. I'm not gonna never say I don't like it. I like it. Not only do I like it, man, I'm infatuated with that kind of talk. You say that to somebody at work, bad built, bleach, blonde, butch body. You call somebody that at work? Oh man, that's bonkers. That's bonkers. But for real, for real, for real, that's the kind of person he needs. That somebody that can talk back to him. Talk to me, I talk back type shit. But but I I get what he's saying, but I don't agree with it. I get what he's saying. I get that he's saying, "Hey, look, we we need somebody like you to excel into spaces where if you're acting a certain way, they're gonna push you and keep you out of. They're gonna be deliberate about keeping somebody with that kind of what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Zene Zenesequa? Is that the word? Is that the exact word I'm looking for? You know, with that kind of that, they're gonna try to find a way to keep you out. And we want you to be able to be, we need you to be able to be in those spaces that they're gonna push you out of. And that's kind of what he was saying. Well, that's what I took from what he was saying. He said it in a way that was an uncle talking to people. You know, your uncle not gonna say something the way you want him to say it. He just gonna come straight out and be like, "Man, you can't be saying that stuff around that woo 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 woo. You need to be trying to slide in and get in where you get in, and then that way they don't know that you there, and then that way you can do what you got to do. But if you talking to people like that, man, they not gonna listen to you, man. You know you can't go up in that job talking to them folk like that. Now we know that your uncle probably cussed out some people in the day, but he talking to you from an uncle position of what he wanted his niece or his nephew to understand from a uncle position or whatever. And I think sometimes Stephen A get too caught up in um just saying that shit in a kind of way that, you know, he's just spilling it out. You know, he just kind of spitting. I know I'm not saying that he's not thinking about it because he's very thoughtful and deliberate with the words he uses. But I think sometimes the character, you know, sometimes the character um goes forward and it in a situation where it didn't have to be. But the other thing is, if he says that and it pushes a situation to where Stephen A gets more consideration for a political position, I don't care what nobody say. Would you rather have Stephen A running for a political position or Kamala Harris? All right, my bad. Yo, let me make sure I'm not echoing. Am I echoing? Okay. Try to boot me, man. They try to boot me. All right. So no, that's all I was saying. I know somewhere Jeb nah. For me, facts. Facts. Nah, that ain't me. You know. But it is 8 o'clock. So hey, I appreciate y'all sitting with your boy. And oh man, damn it. Hey, well I'm finna jump off and I'm finna jump over here, man, and watch the game. If all else fails, if you have tapped the like and subscribe, if I come back on tonight, you'll be notified. If I don't come back on tonight, then you'll be notified when I hop back on, which will probably be tomorrow. And I appreciate everybody putting it up, chopping it up with me, man. And it's been fun chopping it up with you, man. David Burns, thank you for joining. You subbed up. Did you sub to the channel, David Burns, or you just pulled up and for your first time? Hit the like on the way out, man. But yeah, I appreciate you pulling up, man. It's good chopping it up with you. And Buck Mo, I know you already watching the game. Appreciate you, Buck. Generation the Hater. Appreciate you pulling up. And you know, if you're not able to watch the game, you can go check it out over on Greenleaf Exclusive. And check it out on Greenleaf Exclusive. He'll be doing the play-by-play. And it's always lit as usual. And if they have an after game show, he will have a open panel over there on his show. If he does not have an after game show, open panel over on his show, I might open mine back up. And if I'm open, um, you know, you're more than welcome to pull up. You're more than welcome to pull up. And that goes for anybody. If you didn't catch the show live and you just jumping on and you trying to see what it is, mind you, we're gonna keep you in tune. We're gonna keep you lit. You've been warned. Stay on red alert. Stay tapped in. Stay lit. This is Red Alert. I'm E.F. Hutton. I'm signing off. Peace. Thank you all for coming.